H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks coming to you live, and Chris Walker coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it is Great Tuesday. Oh my goodness, it was some kind of Tuesday. Somebody was telling me. I forgot it. I got to think of it. So they gave me some kind of, Robert, this is something Tuesday. And guess what? I done forgot already. But let me shout out to my starting five. Let me talk to them. I know who they are. And they are today. First five people that's on the Chop Shop feed today is Melvin Dews, Rod Wells, Jessica Brooks, Chris Charles, and Mindy Collins is in the building. Oh my goodness, that's my Mindy. She's there. She's here. Sonia's here, y'all. Oh, my girl. Sonia is the 6-year-old lady of the day. Hold on. Let me keep going now. That is Moody's in the building. That is Moody. I got something for you later. D. Holcomb in the building. Darryl Barnes in the building. Jim Norris. Corey Willis. Y'all know I'm gonna shout out to my people now. Who Fat Tuesday. I knew it was some kind of Tuesday. But I am not a Catholic. I don't study Catholicism. So Darryl Barnes, I don't know that much about it. I know it was a Tuesday, but I'm from Memphis. We didn't do that as much. I didn't know too much about it until I came up here. Yeah, okay? So it's just, it's okay. It's okay. I'm learning from y'all. It's a Catholic holiday. Okay. So why the hell are they drinking all that? Everybody I know that's celebrating Fat Tuesday is getting drunk. But I guess the Catholics get drunk. What's up, Tyrone Caldwell? Yes, Yates took a tough loss last night. I didn't. I wasn't at the game. I don't know. I was at TSU game. TSU took a tough loss last night. Oh my God. I was there, man. Y'all got to start watching the show with me and text me what's going on. Thank you, Don Hall. Don Hall was listening to the show last night, and he was commenting on certain things. Let me tell you something. The broadcast is different now. Robert had on the broadcast now. Y'all know I'm going to bring a little chop shop flavor to the show. So y'all got to understand that you got to support. Tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. Okay, what's Ash Wednesday to you? What's Ash Wednesday? Hey, Brandy, give us an Ash Wednesday because I don't know what that means either. Okay, I didn't study. One month before the Passover to get drunk. One more time. Okay, thank you. Walter Yates put it where the goats can get it. Hey, y'all need to share this show. Got a great young coach coming on here a little late. All your coaching, let me tell you something. We got a coach from the East Coast. So we're going to get some East Coast flavor. We're going to get some East Coast flavor, okay? These not the guys who in this area. So you know how this area is a little different. So Jimmy reached out on the East Coast to get a young coach. I can't wait to talk to him. I brought him on earlier today so I can sound check him. So I can't wait for that to happen. Let's see what else I want to talk about. So much stuff, man, I want to just share with y'all. John Moran, I want to share with y'all. But I want to go here. What's up, Wes? I want to go here. Fathers out here. All my daddies. Let me tell you some daddies and mamas. Man, daddies and mama. Some mamas are being a mama and a daddy too. But I saw something. I'm transitioning into an industry called Formula One. When I come on here talking about Lewis Hamilton and stuff like that, I'm not talking from a fan. I am presently forming partnerships in that industry. If you see these stuff behind me, you see all of that Petronas, IWC, and everything on these cars behind you, Mercedes. People pay to put those things on the cars, and Robert Hatter is doing some stuff that to help facilitate that. So when I put this industry is it's lily white. There's not many people like me, like Lewis Hamilton, for him to be top at his sport. You know, I think I introduced a lot of people to him on the show. Y'all need to share this show. This is a shareable show. But I just want to share some with you because I was thinking about his dad, Lewis Hamilton's dad. I wanted to just give shout out to Anthony Hamilton. You raised a gentleman who always seeks the best for others, regardless of the backlash he may receive. I want to thank for always being his rock. And I hope you get to witness him make history this year when he wins his 8th championship. Let me show you some about this kid that, yes, I'm in the business part of this, but this kid captured me when I first thought about it. This kid, I want to show you what he said about his dad.
I would say my dad's always really been the best mentor from day one. Yeah. There was definitely, I still feel there was a period of time where I felt it's very hard for him to really understand how the pressures, like how you feel the pressure on your shoulders and how tough it is. But he also had that pressure in trying to keep us racing, right? So it's all relative. But I don't have anybody else, I think. So even today, before the race and after the race, I'm talking to my dad. And he always is the person that's able to lift me up or just give me that little bit extra of encouragement that's needed. So I'm super, super grateful for that.
Yeah.
Wesley Yates, Walter Yates, Rod Wells, Jameson Morrow, anybody who have kids. When you can have your kids sit up there and talk about you like that, Corey Henderson. Now, this is the same Lewis Hamilton. I mean, y'all got to realize I found out about him a few years ago. The reason I'm playing this, he's the only black man in his sport that's racing a Formula One, a $5 to $10 million car. Okay. And I would like for some of our kids who might, yes, you can play basketball, but study electrical engineering. And you can get some of these $100,000 and $200,000 and $300,000 jobs that's in this industry. That's why I'm introducing this guy to y'all, because guess what? All of y'all ain't gonna make it to the NBA. Everybody's not gonna be Ja Morant. Everybody, let me tell you something, but a lot of these kids can get some of these jobs in this industry. Let me show you another little piece about Lewis Hamilton.
Believing in yourself. If you have a goal, if you have an ambition, it's never losing sight of that and staying focused. Each and every single one of you has a unique ability, and I can see already the drive in all of your eyes, which really connects us because we've all had that since very young. And I think really just, as I said, just never give up on your dream, never give up on your goal. It takes hard work and dedication, so that, focus and give it absolutely everything. And naturally, I think the most important thing is education. Make sure you work hard at school, because that is the foundation to enable you to us to do what we do in the cars we have today.
Well, it's been the final track session of the week.
And the reason I'm playing this, y'all, and it's not just for y'all. Y'all got to realize somebody gonna come back and watch this later. Like I said, this is gonna be a digital footprint. So one young kid gonna say, I can get into Formula One if I'm smart. I don't have to jump high. I don't have to dunk the ball. I don't have to run a football. And you mean I can get into a sport that's 40,000 people that's making a whole lot of money in this sport, in the industry, and ain't but 1% of them black? And that young black man there trying to make this sport a lot more look like him so he can have people that look like him. He grew up where he was the only black racing in go-karts. They used to bully him. His dad had to take him. He wanted to learn karate because he got tired of being bullied because he was the only black kid on the track. They pull up to the track with a go-kart that wasn't nice and looked like the rest of them. They looking at him like they're crazy, and he still won the race without the best car. And I'm sitting here now watching this young man, how he putting his own money to develop the Hamilton Commission so he can put young black kids in the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. He putting his $27 million into that so they can grow up and get some of these kind of jobs. I know we want to play basketball. I like it too. My son played just like y'all's. But guess what? The basketball has stopped. The basketball gonna stop, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all don't think, well, he's gonna play. I was there. But I just want to be able to expose your kids to more. Everybody can't do what John Moran did the other day. Everybody's not, we're just not able to do that. But when I think about this boy, Lewis Hamilton, I done came, I don't know what I did. Hold on. What something happened? What? Can y'all hear me? Oh, I think I know what I did. Okay. I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. But when I think about this young man who's trying to, y'all, I've been to Formula One races. And I would have loved to have a lot of people in there that look like us. So I'm just trying to expose you to stuff you know. You done been around basketball and high school basketball in the UIL all y'all life. Let's go see some other stuff. Some of our kids might not want to play AAU. We complain about how much AAU costs. We got. What's up, Dr. Newsom? I got so much, but we got a guest coming on 12:30, so I don't want to get too deep on until after he get off. But yo, I'm not telling you not to love basketball, but I wish somebody had told me about this 20 years ago, 10 years ago. I wish somebody had introduced me so I could have gave it to my son. Man, hey man, you go be an engineer. Lewis Hamilton. This guy, he's so benevolent. So benevolent. I can't even pronounce the word that good. But he's so gracious. He went to the Met Gala. If you know anything about the Met Gala this year, he went to the Met Gala. He had been going because he liked designs. He liked the arts. So he had been going. Tommy Hilfiger brought him. I think Tom Ford. He was their guest all the times he was coming. So he modeled a little bit. But let me show you what he did this time. He said, "Forget it. I'm gonna buy my own table." So he bought his own table. Table cost about $400,000 for a table at the Met Gala because they raising money for the arts. So he bought his own table, and guess what he did? He interviewed over Zoom a lot of black designers who don't have the money to go and pay $400,000 for a table. And he invited those people to sit at his table. He picked 4 of them. Unbelievable. This guy, I mean, I'm telling y'all, I think Gail King did an interview and I saw him. And guess what? This the same guy who called Beyonce for information because he wanted to know how did she transition from Matthew Knowles being her dad from her manager. In other words, he had to fire his dad as his manager. Okay? Beyonce fired Matthew as a manager. He called Beyonce. How did you get there? How did you do it? I love my dad. My dad was the reason I got into this sport. But I get tired of every time I meet my dad, we talking about business. I just want a hug from him so he can be my dad. I just want a hug. Just a dad. Hey, son. Instead of coming and talk about business. So he had to fire his dad. And you see his glowing admiration for his father. But let me show you the kind of stuff that he be up against, y'all. And I'm going to show you why I'm always cheering for him. Y'all know how I am. Let me show you what he up against. Now, he done won 7 world championships. That's tied with Mick Schumacher. The only person ever do it was Mick Schumacher. He was about to break it this year, Herb Baker, and they cheated on him in his last race. I'll explain that on another show. But yes, they cheated on him in his last race, okay? So he didn't make the 8th championship. That's like Michael Jordan got the 6th championship. He got 7 in a lily white sport that a black man won 7. So this guy, media, this is why I tell y'all about media. Look at the questions the media asked him. Look at this question. Just take a listen. Listen.
You fear that the team will not be able to give you the car capable to win and fight for the championship? And
Why would I feel that way?
may have built a car which is not capable to win the championship?
Why would I ever think that? We've won 8 in a row. Why would I ever feel that way?
Because they can make a mistake building that car.
My team don't make mistakes.
You fear that the team...
Did y'all hear what he... 7-time world champion. Do you fear that they might not make a car for you to win the championship? He said, my team don't make no mistakes. We done won 8 we done won this thing 8 times in a row. But that's the kind of stuff that he's going through. That's why I'm cheering for him. That's why I want to work in this industry. Because y'all already know how I'm going to show up. This going to be a black face in a white place, but I'm going to show up black. You follow me? I ain't going to show up militant. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all got to see me. Y'all got to check me out when I'm in my business meetings. I play with y'all on this show, but boy, Robert Hatter's a monster when I'm in my element like that. But shout out to this man, Lewis Hamilton. Shout out to him. It's Lewis Hamilton Day. Rod Wells. Shout out to this guy. And I just wanted to share that with y'all before the guests come on. I think he'll be on. Now we got a few more minutes before the guests come on. Yes, Corey, because a lot of us, Corey, and the reason I said it, we got a lot of black faces in white spaces. I'm going to repeat that. We got a lot of black faces in white spaces. They there and they be told what to say and do. And it's okay. If that's what you do, if that's how you, okay. Guys on the show the other day talking about, well, you got to get that money. Yeah, all money ain't good. When I was talking about Loretta Lynch and people trying to defend all of that, let me tell you something, man. Man, listen to me. Listen to me. It's okay. If that's the way you feel, I got to get over. I got to get over on some kids and their parents in order for me to make money. Oh man, that's hustling. Man, let me tell you something, man. Yo, we've been doing that stuff for 400 years. And where's that got us? You don't hurt your community. You just don't, man. I ain't telling y'all. You know, I'm sitting there reading some tweets the other day. Oh, I can't wait to talk about the Supreme Court. I don't know. I'll put it like this. Mr. Barnes, I am not going to agree with you on that one. Just because that lady got a white husband. I'm not going to agree with you on that, Mr. Barnes. I'm getting to know about Ketanji Brown. I'm going to talk about her tomorrow. You know, it just kills me when people, see, I'm going to leave that one alone, Mr. Barnes, because for you to make a blatant statement like that, and you don't know this lady, and I hope you did extensive work, because I said the same thing about Kamala Harris. And when I found out what that woman has done in her history and what she's done for people that look like me, because I researched a lot further than people in California talking about, well, she did this shit. No. I made sure I knew people in the mayor's office who explained to me how she helped. I saw her, Robert Hatter did, I saw her, beautiful woman, powerful woman with a white husband, and I automatically got to saying things, and I didn't support her in the primaries. I didn't. And I hated that I didn't. So all I'm saying is, watch that. All I'm telling you is I'm talking about Robert Hatter. When you put me in a position like this, I can't talk about her. Put me in Formula One's room. I am representing who I am. I can't be nobody else. Because guess what? If that room don't Barry McDonald, if I get in that room, okay, and they don't give me the deal, I'm not selling out for the deal. You follow? I'm not selling out for the deal. And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I mean, black faces and white spaces. That's the point I was trying to make. But it's I didn't mean to go there. Boy, we got a few more minutes to left because I know Coach gonna come on soon. But I had something else I wanted to share with y'all. Oh my God, about John Moran. I mean, wait a minute, I got something for Mindy too. Wait a minute, this just for Mindy. Yeah, this just for Mindy. Hold on, that's just for Mindy. Right there. Mindy, that's just for you up there. Yes, let me because somebody said, let me enjoy it while I can, Mindy. Because Mindy, I'm like y'all, I don't know what's gonna happen. But them 2 games there gave me some satisfaction. So can I enjoy myself right now with this Philadelphia 76ers? Hold up. Since you're trying to be the bigger person, I'm gonna put it back up there again then, Mindy. Look at her, Mindy. That's just for Mindy College, y'all. But there's so much stuff, man, we got to cover today. Shout out to TSU. I was at the game last night. We talk about that. Let me give you some information about what happened before the coach come on. The men's they got beat by Alcorn State yesterday, 76-72. Bryson Etienne, our own from Bush High School, had 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Let me tell you something. I didn't know Bryson Etienne was gonna be this good. He's real. He's real good. He's real good. John Walker had 13 points. Bryson Gresham, I think he went to Dawson, Pearland Dawson. He had 12 points, 10 rebounds. Ooh, with 3 block shots. Not Brian Gresham. I mean Brian Gresham, formerly of U of H. I'm sorry. Jordan Carl Nichols from Dawson. I'm sorry. 9.7 rebound, 2 blocks. And in the ladies' game, the women, Texas Southern won 62-55. And we got Ataya Bridges. Y'all got to see Ataya Bridges, Ariana Avant. Y'all got to see these two girls play. Women played. They're unbelievable. Shout out to the TSU. The men lost and the women run. But businessman, I'm glad you're here. I got something for y'all. If y'all any of your ticket needs, I want y'all to make sure y'all contact this number. Screenshot this so y'all. Some of y'all been calling me, asking me for the number, but he's been taking care of a lot of y'all. But I want to play this right now for him.
It's Radio Time Houston. Get your 2022 Houston Rodeo concert tickets at all ticket attractions. The phone lines are open, or you can text your request at 832-371-3337. Now back to the Chop Shop with Hatter and Hicks. Yeah!
I like that. I like that commercial. Hey, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Landon, bring that tomorrow. You see, Landon, how would you know what lines you have to cross? What lines you wouldn't cross? Have you ever been married to a white woman? Have you ever been married to one? So how would you know what lines you would cross? You know, how would you know that her husband don't have she don't have her husband's full support? I don't know. Listen, I don't know Katanji. I don't know her, but I'm studying about her, and I'm gonna have a little more information about her tomorrow because I got some people, call my people. I got to plug my people in Washington D.C. I just want to hear what they got to say because they've been around her. I know she's very accomplished, but we're gonna talk about her tomorrow. But I love Landon and Daryl Barnes. I love when y'all say stuff like this, because guess what? Y'all got to explain to me, where do you get this stuff from? I mean, tell me, give me some facts. But we'll wait till tomorrow because I know my guest is about to come on. I don't want to say something too much. I just want to talk a little bit about Embiid and James Harden, and I want to talk a little bit tomorrow. I want to talk about Art Briles. Art Briles said, Art Briles said, you Negroes ain't gonna get me in no crossfire. He decided to not accept the job at Grambling. And I know y'all was up in arms about it. I mean, we got a few minutes. We got a couple of minutes if y'all want to mention that. We got Grambling, and they offered Art Briles a job. And I'm just curious. I got Jimmy here. Jimmy, I'll bring you on in. I was just asking a question about before our guests come on, about Art Briles. And, because a lot of people in the HBCU community was a lot upset. They said, why? Art Briles said, look here, I understand. I'm not finna deal with you. Listen, what my boy said. I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you people.
He don't say it on the song.
I know I can't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Art Briles made the smart decision.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you got to be smarter than you were yesterday. And this was a situation. And really and truly, Hugh Jackson, what he just did was, now he's officially on the clock.
Why?
Because now a lot of people, just because they were mad at you, remember, we give each other life sentence for misdemeanors. Meaning black folk.
Okay.
So he's on the clock.
I don't do that. Jimmy, I ain't like that. Some of us.
As a people, a lot of us would tend to extend a life sentence to those for committing a misdemeanor. I can really understand. I thought about it. and his statement on it through his his nonprofit is parallel. Understand, it was definitely cleverly crafted, but he mentioned the word redemption
Yeah.
and forgiveness.
Yeah.
And there are some people at certain ages that he might really have thought. Remember, the internet is something that Hugh Jackson did not grow up with. Council culture, the stuff you made a decision, people didn't like it. By the time word travels back up and down, they just deal with it. In this situation, I think part of me want to give him benefit of the doubt that he really believed that the reaction would be this would be the equivalent of the white tiger. Remember the movie Gremlin had the white tiger back about 3 decades ago. There was a movie about their first a white quarterback.
Yeah. Do me a favor, Jimmy. Put a footnote in the white tiger, because we got a special guest just popped up, and I know he's on a press for time because he got a meeting, and I want to get these people. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna put a footnote. Write that on your notes. We're gonna talk about the white tiger as soon as this coach. But Jimmy, he's in the green room. Please introduce this guy, because I am curious. He got to be bad for you to bring him on this show. He must don't understand. Everybody, especially assistant coach, they don't get to just come on this show. This dude got to be bad. So you got to explain this for me. I can't wait. Talk to me, Jimmy.
Well, I mean, I noticed him, this coach, sometimes when you go to basketball games and you go to games and you watch a team that came out of basically nowhere this season, didn't see him coming. The head coach of this Division I college is pretty popular. He played in the NBA, and a lot of people remember that name, And however, this particular coach, this team opened their season in Houston.
That's right.
And so you notice, I watch coach. That's what I'm saying. When I'm at games, I try to identify and watch stuff that most people are not going to pay attention to routinely. I'm watching different stuff. I'm dead serious. And so I noticed this young man on the bench, and I watched him, and I'm wondering, and the question I have from his name is Serge Clement, right? Clement.
Right. Yeah.
And Serge, not Sarge, but Serge. But he acted like Sarge on that bench. Right? And them young kids, and they understand. The school is Hofstra.
Yes.
Coached by Speedy Claxton.
Yes.
The former NBA star. And so Hofstra had University of Houston ass on the ropes.
Oh my God. Had him by the throat.
The game went overtime.
Yes.
U of H had to make a surge to come back at the end.
A surge. Jimmy, I like how you play on that word, a surge. But keep
there
going.
You go. You got that out there. Then they come back in overtime. And so at that point, then Hofstra went on, and they made a little more noise, this season. And so you reward some of those assistant coaches, because our belief, and has always been, today's assistant is tomorrow's head.
Okay.
And platforms such as the Chop Shop, we have routinely, consistently provided an opportunity for a lot of these young college coaches to introduce their personalities and their selves to you guys. Give him the opportunity to do so today. We're going to chat with him real quick. So you got to get to practice shortly. And understand, this is the assistant coach for Hofstra. And this, he there you go. Right there.
What's up there, Serge?
What's going on, Clement? How you doing,
changed
guys?
Spots on me, man. You done changed spots on me.
You know what? I had to, because it was the guys were collaborating in the office, and it was really, really loud.
Okay.
I had to change scenery. So I had to go in the arena. Hopefully the acoustic ain't too loud in the back.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful right there. What you got, Jimmy?
We dive right into it. First of all, introduce yourself to the viewers on the Chop Shop. Let them know the correct pronunciation of your name. Let them know. Let them know, because we chop it up. It's chop shop. We chop up names sometimes. I get that from Hannah. A guy right there. Now let them know that, and of course, Hops, let them know where you're from, and before we can get into some dialogue, we got some good stuff to talk about real quick.
Oh, Coach, you blacked out on me, Coach. Okay.
I appreciate you guys having me on first and foremost. My name is Serge Clement. I'm assistant men's basketball coach at Hofstra University. This is my first year at Hofstra under Speedy Claxton. I was his first hire here at Hofstra University. And, I've been in the profession going on 10 years now. This is my third Division I institution. And all I do is win and build programs and just continue to, elevate and help my people, but also in conjunction of developing and molding young men to be future leaders.
Coach, I looked at your resume, and I know you were at St. Peter's. I saw St. Peter's on there, and I also saw Marist. So you've been just an East Coast. You've been on the East Coast a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
Talk to me.
Yeah, I've been predominantly on the East Coast, but I love recruiting the South. The South has been, especially going to Papados in these airports and.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah. Now, of course, you alongside of Speedy Claxton. I want to ask you, the University of Houston game, was that your scout?
No, it actually wasn't. It was actually Coach DePaoli's scout. He's actually our defensive coordinator, where he breaks down all the intricate parts of the offenses. But as a staff and as assistant coaches, we all collaborate together on the strategy, and he kind of puts the finishing touches on it. So Houston was his scout in particular, but we all have say in regard to what the strategy is or what agreements or disagreements we may have on particular actions. But we all collaborate, but he's the one that spears the defensive strategy.
Wow.
And what is yours? What is your specialty right now? Some they try to peg a lot of coaches in boxes, or in holes. I'm just gonna throw the question out there, that way you can answer. What is your specialty?
Along with being astute at recruiting some of the top prospects in the country, I guard development, and I work with the forwards as well. So, but primarily I work with the forwards here. But at my prior institutions, I've been putting guards in good positions to where they can exceed expectations, but also help them get to the next level of their careers and what they aspire to be as far as being professionals as well. So here I work with the forwards, but I do a combination of everything, along with being astute at recruiting top prospects across the country.
Coach, Coach, when you were at St. Peter's, wow. Coach, I was up there at some point. Y'all played against Cornell. Didn't y'all play against Cornell?
Yeah, we played Cornell.
About 2000, from 2013 to 17?
Yes, we played Cornell.
My son played against y'all. He kind of tore y'all up a little bit. The little left-hand point guard kind of tore y'all.
That wasn't your scout, was it, Coach?
Coach, that wasn't your scout, was it, Coach?
Oh, wait.
With the goggles. With the goggles.
With the goggles. What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
He was a bad little dude, bro.
Yes, Coach. Coach.
The lefty?
Yeah.
The lefty?
Uh-huh.
Yes. He was tough, man. He's smart as hell, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I looked at your bio and I said, Coach had to be on that team. Because when I was up there, he said, Coach, what I did, Coach, this is how I motivated. I said, St. Peter's got one of the best. You got one of the best mid-major guards in the country. They said he gonna kill you, Coach. If ever I said that about another player, Coach, he go in there. It's like you done threw him some meat. Like he an animal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you were there, Coach. I mean, I got to visit your university. It's the first time I've ever been to Hempstead, New York.
Uh, so St. Peter's
I
is
mean,
in
not
Jersey
St. Peter.
City.
I'm not St. Peter. I forgot where I was at. Where's St. Peter's at?
St. Peter's is in Jersey City, New
Jersey
Jersey.
City. It's Jersey City.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So just to give you a quick, both you guys, just a quick dynamic on
Uh-huh.
Jersey City itself. Like
Mm-hmm.
Jersey City is a urban city. It has some rough patches, but it's also a beautiful city as well. But then, as I transitioned to going to Marist, which is almost like a utopian society of a place, and then obviously I mean, like when I tell you it's perfect, man. The grass over there, the wind blow, the joint don't even move. That's how perfect the grass is. But and then obviously coming into Hofstra, and I'm from New York. That's pretty much a melting pot of everything, a combination of both. But really being close in New York City where I lived before was definitely a great experience and a good opportune time to get back to New York, where my roots are.
Okay. Jimbo?
So now you work out with guards. Now tell us, like, guard as a at the Division I level.
Mhm.
The recruiting season is up on us, approximately
Yeah.
6 weeks away. And there are a lot of people out there that everybody throws it around so loosely. You know, oh, he definitely D1. Oh, he's definitely D1. Describe the type of guard that you like, because that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. There's not a one size fits all for every college coach out there. Different coaches have different likenesses or different attractions to the games of certain styles of guards. What style of a point guard that just automatically catches your attention?
I like point guards that can get to the spots that are shifty. And obviously, me and Speedy Claxton on the same page because we have probably a player right now, a point guard, starting point guard right now, who's probably going to be the player of the year in this conference. He's shifty. He can shoot. He can get to his spots. So when I'm looking at a high school kid, I'm looking for obviously everyone wants pros, quote unquote pros, but that doesn't happen every day. Then that doesn't happen every day, especially on the mid-major level. So the one thing that you can't really quantitate for is when you're recruiting high school kids is their heart, what beats in their chest. So you have to really watch them, just watch certain habits. So habits are pretty much a big indicator of what you're going to be in the future for the most part. But you just can't really quantitate for what beats in their chest to see if they got heart, to see if they can deal with adversity, things of that nature. But from a skill standpoint, oh yeah, I want to guard. I work for Speedy Claxton. I don't work for Slowy Claxton. So I'm looking for a dude that can get downhill, that can get to his spots, that can make guys better. But obviously, you don't always find the total package at the at high school. So you have to kind of forecast to see where they can get better at. But the base of what I'm looking for, you got to get to his spot. It's shifty and being able to make a shot and with some decent size. If you're small, you better be strong and athletic. And if you're skinny, you better have some feel and be able to shoot and get to your spot. So those are like certain criteria that I look for. And then obviously determining what beats in their chest is probably hard to quantitate for, but you kind of have to ask around and see certain habits in order to see how it can be instilled into your program and if it fits your program.
When you say small, what size is there a specific under or over to determine small when you're talking about guards?
Everybody, man, guys, everybody that say they 6 feet, they probably about 5'2.5". But if you're gonna be on sub 6, it's either if you're sub 6, you better be really athletic, or you better have a really good specific skill. Like if you got a handle and you can't make decisions, that's a moot point. If you can make decisions but you don't got a handle and you're small, that's a moot point. So if you're small, you better either be really strong and athletic, or you better have really good feel for the game. So that's kind of those criteria that we have to kind of have to dictate and see which one fits our program. But there's it's not wrong with being small, not at all. But you got to be able to have some type of pit bull mentality or toughness to you, with those, in conjunction with those type of skills or criteria I'm looking for.
How has the transfer portal changed your recruiting process and how you look at high school recruits? This is from Melvin Dews, or from one of the listeners on the show.
And Mel, I got to be really, really honest with you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it to any of you guys. The transfer portal has changed the game for us. Because if you look down our roster in particular, we have 4 transfers, one coming from University of Oregon, one coming from Iowa State, the other one coming from Arkansas, and then you got another one, a mid-major transfer who scored over 2,000 points. Those 4 guys are playing for us right now. So it's a hit or miss with the transfer portal. Like, you can be successful with the transfer portal, but it's got to be the right kids, because certain high majors, they screwed up by picking the wrong kids in the transfer portal. Certain mid-major. So you got to find the right fit. But to answer your question, what's changed is, if a high school kid has an offer and it's concrete, that kid better take it right now.
Wow.
Why is that?
My honest. Why is that?
Why is that?
Because I just think about it, Jim. Like, I'm recruiting you, and I offer you in mid-February, and you don't want to commit to the scholarship that I offered you. Okay, cool. 2 months to the transfer portal, and I could find somebody that's older, bigger, better, more experienced than that high school kid that I just offered. So why cry over spilled milk? I could go get somebody else, and they're older, and they're more experienced. But you got to deal with the ramifications if it doesn't work out, in terms of they're not good enough, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not going to chase a high school kid if he doesn't want to commit. I could just go to the portal. But that's a risk that coaches are taking, and it can help, but it could also have an adverse effect where it can hurt your program as well.
Coach,
so now to answer your question.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I want you to finish. That's good. Because I had another question for you, but finish that one. That was good.
So no, just to be completely transparent with high school kids and AAU coaches and parents, unless they have a plethora of offers, you got to take what you can get, man. You have to, because the portal is hurting the younger generation, the younger kids, and the solution ain't just go to prep school. That's not the solution.
Wow.
If you have something, take it, and then you figure it out from there. Then you could save your family money. Then you can get to the drawing board on if you're going to stay there 2 years, 1 year. So that'd be my advice to you, Mal.
Coach, that's awesome, Coach. But Coach, I got one, and Coach, I was thinking about this because I might explain it a lot different from the way these guys. How Chuck McGowan, he coaches a lot of young ladies, and he said, in your term, what does you consider spots? When you say you need a player that gets to his spots, what do you consider?
Okay, it just means, what are you good at? So I have a kid right now who shoots 42% from the 3, and he says to me, man, I'm not developing my game. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Then I ask him, what do you do well? I shoot the ball. So why not continue to do it? If you want to help your family and elevate yourself and make money, why not do what you can do? Sure, get paid for what you can do. And then when you become a professional and you have the money, and then you can stabilize your family, then you work on other intricate parts of your game. But you can't secure the bag first if you're not good at if you don't do what you do. So when I say spots, high school kids, like, what are you good at? What do you bring to the table to where that if it's somebody else and a college coach is looking for a point guard or a wing, what do you do well? What can you say, like, man, that can elevate my program? Because there's like, all right, let's say there's 5 things that you're good at.
Okay.
If you're 5 for 5 on those things that you're good at, you're probably a high major player. If you
Say
2
that
out of
again.
5,
Say that
That
again. Let it soak in. Let that soak into the viewers. I know some of you guys are
They missed
watching
that.
right now on the Chop Shop. Take out the time to share the show. Of course, if you're on the YouTube Boom Boom Room, or if you're on the Facebook right now, share the show right now to your pages, to your groups, and of course, we got Coach Serge Clement live with us from Hofstra, and he's dropping nuggets today. So now's the time. Guess what? Repeat what you just said to them, Coach.
About those 5 things.
so if there's 5 things you're really good at, let's just say dribble, passing, shooting, IQ, and athleticism. Let's throw those 5 out there.
Okay.
If you're good at all of those 5,
Mhm.
you're probably a high major, probably pro prospect. Even to some instances, maybe not.
Okay.
Even you might have, but you have to be elite at something. So the lesser of those 5s that you don't have is what dictates your level. So if you could dribble, pass, and shoot, and you're not athletic and you don't have great feel, yeah, you can get a scholarship. You can get a scholarship, but that determines the level. If you don't have feel or IQ, you probably can't play at a higher level or school that provides a lot of movement or motion or things of that nature. But if you have all 5 of those things and you have IQ, you're probably an NBA player. So that's what kind of separates levels, in my opinion. Just what you bring to the table and getting to spots, being able to shoot it. If you're a really good shooter, there's always room for you somewhere. Always. You're not gonna have all 5. The likelihood of somebody having all 5 will probably be a pro. I mean, you guys could tell me. I mean,
Right.
you guys have been around it the whole forever.
Agree.
So, and
Agree.
then like dealing with my level right now,
Mhm.
I have guys that probably have 3 out of 5, some maybe 3.5 out of 5. So that's what you're dealing with at this level of mid-major.
That's good.
We have
Yeah.
plenty of viewers that have questions for you. We're going to toss some of those questions to you, Coach. So, I mean, we're going to be probably going all over the place with different topics as
Yeah.
different people have posted various questions. You give them who's next?
Oh, let's say if a kid, hold on, that one ain't good enough. What other factors, parents, grassroots, high school coaches, friends, influence does recruiting play a part in Hofstra's men's basketball? Cut off, Coach. He cut off.
That's all right. He's going to come back on. Meanwhile, guys,
Jimmy, I'll
it
let
gives you
you
the
out.
perfect
Jimmy,
time.
go and answer this one. Because Glenn Bishop, he said, what if a kid is good at several things? A 6'4" guard that plays out of position on his team. Okay, I'll action that one. Too.
Yeah, we
You
let
back, Coach?
let the coach get that.
You back,
He'll be
Coach?
back
Yeah,
in
my
just a second.
apologies.
No,
My
that's all, Coach.
apologies.
Coach, it's okay. It ain't your fault. It's the system's fault. It ain't you. I got one for you. Okay, I'm gonna switch that one up, Coach. I'm gonna give you another. What if a kid is good at several things? He's 6'4" guard that plays out of position for his high school team. That averages 15 points, 8 rebounds, four assists, and 2 steals. That's smart.
So that's smart. So what I would tell him to do is target schools that he might be interested in. Like a lot of people, like social media has its positivities and also has its negativity as well. But if it's a kid that has academics and explained all those criteria that you just said in terms of basketball, I would identify schools that he would be interested in terms of academics. And I would narrow that down. And then I would put film together. It's like a biggest misconception is like coaches don't watch highlights. Yeah, we watch highlights. And that kind of gives us a tease as to what we want. Okay, cool. I see what you're working with. All right, let me watch a couple full games.
Keep talking, Coach.
That's kind of how I look at things. Okay, I see the kid's highlights. I see he's very athletic, or he can do this and that. I mean, okay, let me see what his feel is. Let me see what his IQ is. Let me get 2-3 games and then break it down from there. And then I make a decision on if it assess to see if that kid best fits my program. And that's how I do it personally, because there are diamond in the roughs out there, man,
Okay.
and there are kids out there that don't have the opportunities, and that's what the transfer portal does. It eliminates those opportunities for these high school kids. So just as hard as you work on the court to try to get better on the court, you have to do the same thing as far as self-promoting your talent nowadays. And we're not giving $60,000 scholarships just away to anybody that can just dunk. We want to see it all. We want to see the package, man. And not everybody builds their program with transfers. So you really have to do your homework on both ends, and AU coaches and parents need to collaborate on that, because if there's one cook in the kitchen, sometimes they may not just be enough to help you to obtain your goal.
Wow. Jimmy, you see something else up there?
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask you. Yeah, we get to a couple more in a second. But first, I want to insert one of the things I know down south, and of course, we're based out of Texas, in Houston specifically, the chop shop that is there's been an epidemic of players being on the unfortunate end of receiving non-committable offers, what we used to call fake offers. Then fake,
Yeah.
that word was too harsh. Some people just didn't want to digest it, so we just say non-committable to make the offer sound sophisticatedly invalid. Have you?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those? Do you guys, have you been a part of? Because and of those type of offers, and you might want to expound on, without giving details or whatnot, how those come about. What are some ways? Because parents and kids are sometimes the last to know that an offer has been conspired, but it is not real. And just compound on that, if you would. That's something that's serious. And is it just a South thing? Does it go on the East Coast? I don't know.
Jim, you really want me to dive in on this, or you want me to not?
Hey,
I
this is
could
the chop
dive in.
shop.
I could
This is
dive
the
in.
perfect. You know what? You can't be more real if you just, there you go. Give yourself a good wipe. You know, take your deep breath.
All right.
And
You
let's
Coach,
guys
go
hear
remember
with
me?
you got
that
3 minutes, Coach.
fake
I don't
offer.
want you to be late for your meeting, but come on.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
He gonna
I'm
drop the
good.
mic
Trust me.
on this one right here. Let's go
Okay.
with it.
All right. So I would say it's all about relationships. Certain AAU guys have relationships with other coaches and college coaches and head coaches, and so sometimes it's favors for favors. Some of them are not real. A lot of them are not real. It's just to make a kid. I could get some calls sometime about, hey, offer this kid just to give them confidence, to boost them up, and things of that nature. And I have to reflect on it, because I don't always do that. Me personally, I don't always do that. And if my relationship is based on giving out an offer to a kid to build his self-esteem, I don't, I never want to shut any kid down, but it has to make sense. I'm not just going to throw any offer out there, because that's the reputation of my university. Um, and on top of that, man, it's, hearsay. Sometimes kids can't live up to that pressure of an offer. That's another thing you got to think about too as well. A lot of the time, those fake offers come from the background, come from AAU coaches and just relationships, who you know, who I know. But I'm just going to tell you this: for me personally, I do offer kids, but I offer young kids, and that's what a lot of high major programs do as
I
well.
got you.
Maybe I might be putting myself in a bind by saying this, but a lot of high majors offer young kids because, yes, they want to see how they develop in the next year or two. I'm not going to offer a kid that's a senior and I don't think he's good enough just to help him out. Nah, that's not how I would do it personally. But if there's a kid he's shown the measurements and he's shown that he's talented, he's shown that maybe he just needs a little bit of time and he's young, yes, there's a chance that I could potentially just offer him just to see where he's at in another year or two. Is it a legit offer? Probably, in terms of like, hey, if he develops in 2 years and he's who I think he can be, and he says, hey, I want to come to Harvard University, cool, we'll take him. But in 2 years, if he doesn't develop, he stays status quo and stays the same, And also, it's also in conjunction to your roster too. You may not need that 2 years down the line, or you may not need that 1 year down the line. So all of that stuff can fluctuate, and that's why it's easier to offer kids that are younger because they ain't committing anyway. That's just me being honest with you.
Yeah,
They're not
Jimmy.
committing
Now, why aren't they committing anyway?
They can't.
Let's go. Let's keep
because
diving a little deeper.
because they can't. And then on top of that, a lot of it is
Why
just
they
using it for
can't?
leverage.
Why can't they,
We're
coach?
talking
They
about the
don't know
young
that
kids,
offer's
Jimmy.
not
We're
real.
talking about the young kids.
They don't know that offer is not real. They don't know that. Hatter. Those
Oh,
kids don't know.
but
You
I'm
follow
talking
me? They're
about
the
when
last
I'm
to
talking
know.
about in the ninth grade. In the ninth grade, you can't commit
Why
no
would
way.
Yeah, you can.
No. I
You
mean,
you
I,
you can,
You can't
but you're not
sign.
signing.
that's what
You ain't
that's what I'm
signing.
talking about. Y'all playing word games here.
Oh
That's what I'm talking about.
no.
Being able,
We,
Coach, like that on.
well, Coach pulled his own plug. You know, it's topics too. We're too hot for him right now. Coach, you saw what Coach did. Coach said, "I got to say."
Oh, he
Coach
right
did the
back.
Nelly.
Hey, Coach ain't playing no
Remember,
game.
man,
He right
it's
back.
getting hot in here. Coach,
Hey, Coach.
Coach
Hey,
said he's
Coach.
like now.
Coach. Jimmy talking about you pull the plug. I said, Coach coming back, y'all. Coach ain't playing no
Nah, I'm
game. He
not gonna
coming
end on
back.
that note. I'm
Coach
not
said,
ending on that note.
Coach, now we're talking about committing, not signing. You can't sign until the second Wednesday of November, early
That's
period. The
correct.
second Wednesday of April is the spring period. Now, we're talking about, if you just tune into the chop shop, the pros and cons of non-committable / fake offers. And Coach just mentioned before, if you missed it, or you probably wasn't paying attention, that he gives those offers out. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, a lot of those young kids are not going to commit anyway. So my response, meaning at the time, those young people that are getting those fake offers, they don't really know that they can't, that they're not real. Or do they not? Or do they, Coach?
Nah, sometimes they don't. It's through the back channels. It's a lot involved with the fake offers, man. It's to appease the kid, to appease the AAU guys for their programs to get leverage over other AAU programs. There's so many external things involved with just throwing an offer. 9 out of the 10 times it's not real, and if it is real, they're probably not coming to your level. So it's just got to be aware of that, and if that's how these kids want to live and the programs want to live and rest their hat on, I don't think that's the appropriate way to go about it.
You could tell my thing is, I think that the fake offer epidemic has really messed up the entire recruiting process. For example, and I'm going to lead this into the next question for you, which is related to the topic. Have you ever been recruiting a player? I'm going to say it again. Have you ever been recruiting a player that had received a fake offer from a Power 5 school, and it's that, and you, in your mind, that offer was fake from that school, from, let's say, a Power 5, and you're trying to get him? And if so, not worry about the kid's name. How did that work out? And what did you? Because now the rabbit has the gun and the shoe is on the other foot. How did you approach that? Did you and also did you end up getting the kid because he wasn't at level?
You know what, man? I have been in a few situations like that where I've recruited kids that are borderline high major, but not basically a high major's second or third option, maybe fourth, and my first option. And I detail it as best as I can without negative recruiting to another program, because I feel I never have to negative recruit. I feel as if my personality and what I'm selling is the cream of the crop, so I never negative recruit. I don't have to, but my best way to try to convey that message to them that they're uh, not appreciated, just tolerated, is through my presentation, through our presentation, and if they don't see that, then that'll be a continuation of what the portal has created, if that makes sense. Because then they'll leave, and then they'll come back to they'll come back to their ex-girlfriend or the girlfriend that really wanted them. That's what typically happens, right?
I like that. I like
It's the
that.
truth, though. They come back. They come running home. Like, man, I believed you. I
So,
should have believed you.
so as we close out this topic, what are some tips that you can give to help level the playing field for parents out there that are watching, grassroots coaches, program personnel? What are some questions or some that you can suggest that they can ask, or signs that that offer might not be real?
Well, you always got to look at like parents are get enamored by high major, private jet, all of that other jazz. Look at the rosters. Look what they're telling you. Be in depth in your research. It's a decision. It's a decision that can affect your son or daughter. So I would tell them, look at the rosters. Look at rosters. See where you fit. That's case in point. And is it a school that, even though you're not playing basketball, hypothetically, if it's a situation where you're not playing basketball, that you would enjoy being at? Not to say a party school or whatever, but just like somewhere you like enjoy being at. So that's stuff that you got to look at as well. Does it have the major that you would like? Oh, do you feel the assistant coach has been fully transparent with every question you've asked? Are they is there a lot of lag time in between your question and the answer? Like, those are the little minute things you have to pay attention. You gotta watch. People will tell you your answer without even giving you the damn answer. Like, people, coaches, like, half the time assistant coaches are scared as hell. Like, they don't want to say the wrong thing. They're always tiptoeing on shells
Wow.
because they don't want to say the wrong thing because they're trying to save the recruit or don't want to turn them off to go somewhere else, even though they're not being truthful in certain regards. Like, just be observant of people, and that's the best thing I can tell you. And then look at rosters, and that's the tall tale of a lot of these things. Like, kids say, "I want to play the five." No one ever wants to play the five. Excuse me. Be realistic on who. Be realistic on who you want to be. First things first, and then if the coach tells you the truth, that may be somebody that you might want to listen to. But the truth is in the beauty of is in the eye of the beholder as it relates to parents. So, but
Coach,
if the parents want the truth, they gotta be able to handle the truth. So it goes both
coaches,
ways.
Coach, something I'm not seeing here. You just mentioned the private jets. I hear people talking about the facilities. I hear people talking about this, but Coach, you can't take that with you when your ass leave. It ain't yours. You just used it for a year or two or whatever they give me. It killed me, Coach. Man, they got facilities. Man, they got this. Dude, you ain't. That's not yours. That private jet, you don't fly on that thing. You fly on it with the team. You don't fly on it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But Coach, am I wrong for just trying to be simplistic about that? Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're not wrong, but a lot of these kids, which is hard to program, is looking for the wrong things, and that's what's creating the transfer portal. That's what's giving it life. Um, so that I would say to these parents, like, just know what your purpose is, and try to be as fully transparent with your kids on and ask them what they really want. And if they really want, you know, they could say they want this but really don't want that. And as parents, you have to try your best to not give them everything they want, if that makes sense, because what they want they may not be ready for.
What they want, they may not be ready for.
Oh,
And
my
you guys are coach, you taking notes, and
I
you
just
just
took
tuned
that
into the
note,
Chop
Coach.
Shop. This is assistant coach Serge Clement. He's with Hofstra under Speedy Claxton at Hofstra. And you guys, the season, how's everything going this year in the season for Hofstra? What's you've been kicking a little butt, taking a few names. What the season's getting ready to wind down. What seed you rocking with right now?
Man, we finished up last night. We won last night. We finished as a third seed. I believe we're 13 and I think we were 12 and 13 and 5. We're the third seed. Our league's been pretty good this year. Towson's 15 and 3, UNCW's 14 and 4, and we're third seed, 13 and 5. So we've been we got a lot of talent. Tournament starts this weekend, so we'll see where it goes, man. We have a chance to go dancing, man. Listen, if these kids play the way they played against these high majors when we beat number 24 Arkansas at Arkansas, Houston took us to overtime and then lost to 2 to Maryland. If they come up with that type of sense of urgency, I think we have a good chance. But if not, I'll be back in Houston, Texas, and I'll come to Papados or whatever seafood spot I got down there. Come down there.
You can't beat Papa though. You can't beat him.
I can't,
You can't beat
man.
him.
I can't. I'm just a sucker, man. I can't, man.
So now we got some more questions for you from a couple of other viewers and how
what
to
time you got to leave, Coach?
Nah, we're good. We're good, man. We're good.
We got. Oh, okay, let's go, Jimmy. Let's roll.
Hey, Alec, you know what they did? They told him to go in. You know, you got the coach and the what they call it? We call him the crime dog, the compliance person on the other side of the camera over there, letting know what to say. So they told him they didn't did their background check. We good. They told him go on.
Coach,
you
know what I know? You know what they found out? I done found out he was in his office at first. So he would have had to cut it short because they in there doing all that noise. So now he's out here. Guess what? He good. So guess what?
I'm in the arena right now.
I know. You're good now.
I'm sitting just relaxing.
I got another one.
What's the name of the arena?
So, what'd you say, Jimmy?
I didn't hear you.
What's the name of the arena? How many seats?
Oh, we're in the David Mack Arena. Holds about 5,200. Let me see if I can. I can't turn it, so maybe I can.
Give us an unofficial visit, man. Just show what we're working with.
I don't know how to turn
I see
this camera.
Charleston, Elon up there, Drexel.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
St. Peter's in y'all's district.
Nah. They're not. They're in New York.
Who is that up there?
There you go.
That look. Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is the arena.
Wait a minute. Is Northeastern in this?
Northeastern is in. Yeah, yes, sir. Northeastern's in the conference.
Wow.
Northeastern, Elon, Drexel, JMU, UNCW, Towson, William and Mary.
I see.
Hofstra.
Yeah.
Drexel.
Who is the bird up there? The blue bird.
The Delaware Blue Hens.
Delaware. Okay. That's what I was thinking about.
You know a lot of East Coast stuff, man.
I think my son went up there, man.
How are you in the streets, man?
Yeah. Coach, I used to go to every game, Coach. I know them parents used to look at me saying, this girl is at every game. Coach, I flew all over. Coach, I went to Colgate. Coach.
Oh man, God bless. Nah, my buddy would get tight. I said that, man.
Yeah.
Now there's, of course, and how the one thing about what I started doing when the coaches come on, especially from out of state, when I refer back to the magazine, which just never goes out of style until the season is completed. And of course, in the magazine, there are at the start of this season, there were 5 players from the state of Texas in your conference. I'm going to shoot some names at you, and you let me know if you remember were they part of the scout, or if you remember these guys, or not. One is from Charleston, right? And your opponent, you played them twice this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Demetrius Underwood.
Oh, I need one of those.
Describe him. He's from Mesquite, Texas.
You know what? He's a kid that transferred up from a Division II, from what I was told. But the difference between that is maybe he wasn't ready in high school, but then he had 2 years or 3 years in his belt at the Division II level. Now he's probably a college ready-made player. He transfers up and he's being successful. Hey, that's a success story right there.
Who else you got, Jim?
Charles Lampton from Charleston. He's a junior this year.
Athletic.
Really?
I like him. What high school?
What high school?
I'll take one of those too.
What high school in
No, it's
Texas,
from
Jay?
Texas. From Texas.
Okay, what high
It,
school?
it,
Dallas
it
area?
says Roanoke, but he transferred, I think, to Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. The way
Okay.
it sounds on here.
Okay.
Alonzo Sule. Now he's from Houston.
Ooh, yeah, from
At James
JMU.
Madison. Yeah,
Yeah,
JMU.
yeah. I take one of him too. Jeez, Louise. Hey, listen, fellas, you get the damn hit, man. I want Texas, bro. Like,
Hey, coach,
I want
coach,
Texas.
you're giving a home visit right now. I can see what coach, let me tell you something. I can tell from the reactions on this. We call it the boom boom room, coach. Hey,
Raise,
I can
not
tell.
raise.
Yeah. They listen.
Raised. You know which one he is.
Come on, baby. Come on, man.
Hey.
Raise boom boom room. Get out.
Ask him what kind of pie he like, coach. Ask him what kind of pie he like.
I like white on. Hey, I like the white only pies. No, I'm just kidding.
You like the Yo, you guys are killing me, man.
Yeah. But
So you got Sule. Who else?
Who else you got, Jim?
I like him.
Well, I got a couple more. I just wanted to get my point was proven. I didn't name the other two guys are freshmen and sophomores, and is that the talent from Texas? They're all over the country.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, it used to be when I first started in the business, that was a grand myth. Remember, there wasn't no social media 20 plus years ago. And the thing was for a lot of schools who was just too lazy or too unmotivated to recruit the state of Texas was, oh, those kids won't leave. You know, they're not going to leave. You know, in other words, like UT or Baylor or A&M or Tech or TCU wasn't going to let those kids leave out. And I'm like, we have too many kids. There are going to be enough kids out of Texas every year. And now with the state of Texas producing a record-setting 5 players from the same city in the McDonald's All-American game. What is the viewpoint on the East Coast now? What are coaches saying now going into the live period? Or is it now that, okay, man, we got to get down to Texas. We got to see some of these kids or what?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. I can't tell you from another coach's perspective, but I can tell you from my perspective. When I started coaching Division I, 9-10 years, man, I can't even remember. 10 years now. 10 years now. I was always intentional about broadening my horizons and dipping and dabbing into other regions. So I kind of formulated a lot of relationships and organic relationships throughout the course of my my coaching career, because I knew recruiting was bigger than New York, and so I made it a conscious effort. If you look at my track, recruited all over the South, and I love the South. I love recruiting the South, and I love to bring it up north because it's a different experience up north. So for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but Texas has been really good to me personally, but that's not something that you can do just 1 year. Like, you have to make it a conscious effort to know people down there, and then get your A1 credit down there. You can't just go down there and say, I want this kid, boom, and like, people are going to Carfax you. They're going to reach out about you to other people that they might know and might know, hearsay, and then you want it to always be that your reputation supersedes anything. So when people reach out about me, they're going to say, hey, I know this dude, he a good dude, he's solid, he's A1, he got A1 credit, and therefore parents in Texas will feel comfortable sending their kids up north, where they know that it's just not about basketball. I'm going to mold that your son. I'm going to mold your son. He may not like me every day, and we ain't gonna be peaches and cream every day. We ain't gonna be doozies every day. But he's gonna know. Your parents are gonna know I'm in for the best interest of your son. So, yeah, man, I can't speak for everybody. Coaches out east, but the gap has shortened. Texas, Florida, more Texas is now has propelled itself as one of the better states, and to come as well too. So, not to say that people in New York ain't gonna be great, but Texas is just right now it's shown its power, it's shown its strength in numbers, and you could all tell by the high school McDonald's All-American game and the nominees and the guys that are playing in that game.
Coach Justin
Now
Carter.
we got a message for you.
I just put that on the screen for you. He said, what's up? Justin Carter said, my guy Serge, I'll tell him I said, what's up.
What it do, man? What it do? What's going on?
I put him on the screen and it popped off. I
You
don't know
never
what
know who's
happened.
watching the Chop Shop. That indeed. And so now we go back
Yeah,
to
that's
a
Boom
couple
Boom
more
Room,
questions to
man.
toss
That's
to you.
Ray's Boom Boom Room.
There you go. Ray and Claude, man. I'm talking about in the flesh right now, remixed for you. And guys, we just tuned to the Chop Shop. We're gonna ask you again, share the show, if you will, to your pages, to your social media platforms, to your groups, and let's let them get a whiff of Serge Clement, one of the up and coming assistant college coaches in the land. Coach, what's the end game? Are you trying the end game in coaching for you? Is it head coach, HBCU? You want to be NBA? What's the end game?
My end game is to run a program, whether that's HBCU, because I would love to obviously coach guys that look like me on a HBCU level. That I love that. I would relish that opportunity, but also I would love to coach young men that want to be better. That's also aim to obtain a degree. Education still plays a valuable part in my life. If it wasn't for my degree and my education and the importance of education, coming from a West Indian family, I would not be here. So I
Wow.
do want to run my own program. Um, I will run my own program. I want to run my own program, but with the notion that education still is the forefront of why I'm doing this. I want young men to know the importance of education. There's a less than a third of these kids that make it to the NBA, and probably maybe a little more that have opportunities to play professional and be overseas. So I value education. I value it to the T. I've obtained my bachelor's, my master's, and at one point I had started my doctorate.
Wow.
So it's things that I feel that education can bring to you that can broaden your horizons in life to where that ball does really stop bouncing. And I learned the hard way, you know. I learned it the hard way. I thought basketball was end all be all. But as I progressed through life, I figured that there's other things basketball can provide me. I don't have to be a player. I don't have to be a coach. I can be an agent. I can be a referee. I can be around the game in other facets. And I want to, when I run my own program, or if I have the opportunity to run my own program, I'll continue to develop these whole young men holistically so they know that basketball is not the end all be all, but it's just a vessel to get to where you need to.
Coach, I got a good one for you, Coach, because you know how the people come tell you, man, he had 30 points. I used to call when my son was young. I used to call the coach, say, hey, coach, he had 30 points tonight. He had 40 points. And the coach stopped me and said, Robert, how many of those were college baskets?
Great point. Oh,
How many? So, Coach, would you explain? Kevin Lewis, I'm gonna put it up there. Kevin Lewis, because I've been mentioning that too. You know, somebody was telling me other night a kid had 30 some points, and Coach, all of them were layups over dudes this tall. You ain't
mm,
getting them in
mm,
college, bruh.
mm,
So,
mm.
so, Coach, could you please say what's your definition of a college bucket?
So
Bam.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
you
Coach,
see,
ask him. No, coach, do him like you did me. Ask him, you sure you want to go there? Ask him, you sure you want to go there?
I want to go
Because
there, Coach. Coach.
I'll flip it twofold, man, because just because there might be guys on here that's aspiring to be coaches as well.
Okay.
Um, and I could tell you this, man, and I learned this, like my first recruit years ago. And I'm gonna segue it. My first
Okay.
recruit, I'm like, man, he's a really good player.
Mhm.
Blah blah blah. He had about 20 something points. Blah blah blah. And then I brought him back to my boss, and my boss was like, yeah, cool. How many of those baskets are translatable? And then ever since then, as a coach, it made me think translatable baskets. So when I say translatable baskets, you're thinking about, okay, if you can't score in the half court, then it's probably going to be hard for you to be a really good college basketball player. Yes, transition is a must. You got to be able to finish when you get a fast break, yes. But if it's a really good team, and if it's really good players, you have to be able to have game in the half court. You got to have translatable baskets in the half court. What does that mean? You run a play, you execute it, you got to be able to hit the shot. You get to the basket in the half court, you're able to get to your spot, which I mean when I say spots, you're really good at the elbow pull up. They run a play and it gets you to drive the ball to your right hand for elbow pull up. You got to be able to make that shot. That's translatable. You run a play and you make the shot. That's translatable. You get fouled, use a shot fake, jump stops, reverse pivot, get fouled. That's translatable. Anything that relates to being fouled or translatable in the half court, that doesn't mean taking 1,000 dribbles, but things that coaches will look for. Those are translatable buckets, man. Fast break, yes, that's an added plus to pad your stats. But really, when you're talking about translatable, we're talking about being able to score in the half court, meaningful stuff, plays, simple, quick rips to the basket, finishes, things of that nature. Those are like translatable buckets. And I would suggest that parents and kids really work on translatable baskets when they're doing their skill work.
Wow. Jimbo, you got another one? Or you want me to hit?
Hurting some feelings. Coach
No, he ain't hurting no
man.
feelings. He's telling the truth.
Come on, Jim.
No, coach.
Man, I'm trying.
Hey, coach.
Jim, I'm trying to lay the truth, man.
Coach.
I'm speaking the truth.
That's what we want,
Coach.
That's what we want. Indeed.
Coach, this happened just the other night. I went to a game, and I was just telling people, man, whip those back, all of them layup, homeboy. I had to learn the hard way. Coach said, Robert, how many of them he gonna get over 6'9" or 6'11"? How many? Coach, I went back and said, I went from 35, coach, down to 12. Easy, coach. Hey, but they was real. Me as a parent, I took that as, homeboy, we got some more work to do, player. We got some more work to do. All that old, you just going and doing all that over them little boys. No. And guess what? In college, Jimmy, I don't even see too many breakaway layups in college. You don't get too many breakaway. Coach, he had a breakaway layup on Georgia Tech. No, a breakaway dunk. And one of them Georgia Tech dudes went and got that thing.
Yep.
I said, dude,
fast
no.
At that level.
Yeah, you got to be able. You have to be able to do it. I mean, that's a good one. You got another one, Jimmy? Did you see one?
Yeah, well, yeah, we got another one. Somebody asked, what are 2 or 3 things that you would change about grassroots basketball?
You know what, man? Just being able to. One thing I would love to change, and I'm speaking from somebody that had a short stint in grassroots. I would love to be able to get more coaches to collaborate from different shoe companies. I think it'll. I know it's a big business. I know everyone wants to keep it in house. Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. I'm sorry if I miss out any other sneakers, but I would love for those decision makers to collaborate on something. Because at the end of the day, if these kids are gonna go to a specific sneaker company when they're pros, they're gonna go to whoever gives them the most money, or they're gonna give them to the person. They're gonna go with the person that they have a relationship with, and that can give them the most money. Right. So it's but I would think that I would love to see other sneaker companies collaborate on events. Whether that's stealing other kids, I don't know about all of that because kids hear whatever they want to hear. That's one thing I would love to see. And I would love to see something, a component of where if it's about college, where kids want to get to, I would love to see some more informational things at these events for parents. I do. Like 7-10, having your 7 cores locked in before 10 semesters, just knowing what the GPA requirements are, what they need to know, so they can take a personal interest in their children other than having other people do it. So that's 2. That's pretty much those things. I would love to see more parents involved by giving them more initiative, by giving them more direction, and then, more sneaker companies collaborating on events, because if it's all about money, then okay, let's collaborate on an event and then let's split this money up. But that would, and not to say that I ain't good at math, but y'all will have to figure that part out. But I'd love to see that, Under Armour versus Nike,
Yeah.
Like something of that nature, But that's just my 2 cents, man. Nobody listens to
No,
the
coach,
major
coach,
guys
I
anymore.
never heard nobody say that, coach. I never.
It kind of happened about a decade ago.
We talking about we talking about now, Jimmy. The way things are
No,
now.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah.
as you said, nobody's mentioned it. In Vegas, there was the Adidas champion
Big
would
time.
play against the champion of Hal Pashner's Nike flavored tournament, and that happened. It lasted for a couple of years. You remember that, Coach?
So why did
Yeah,
they
I
stop?
do. Well, I can't. I don't know details
Right.
specifically, but I would think kids are being infiltrated, parents are being infiltrated by other companies. It's not on the up and up anymore, and let's come play with me instead of him because you see what I can give you, and no one's being honest. The integrity of it is all jammed up. Maybe that's probably why it can't happen nowadays, but I would love to see that. That's just me. That could be a whole pipe dream, but I would just love to see that. The top players in this region or whatever, top players in this sneaker company play against this top player sneaker company, and then go from there.
Coach, do you understand this dynamic? Because I think it's university control. But Michael Garcia asks, why is it that most D2 and D3 schools charge the kids even if they're playing? Because they go in there for education. That's just not. Could you explain that to me, Coach? He said, why is
Why
it
D2?
now most D2 and D3 schools charge the kids even if they playing? Do you
Even if they're
Grassroots do the
playing,
same thing.
No, but I want to know I want to know the dynamics of, because I know it's institutional control. Because some of these institutions, they are academic institutions that happen to have
yeah,
basketball teams. Am I right,
yeah.
Coach?
But they still recruit though.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Ultimately they want to win. Ultimately they want to win too.
Okay.
Even though they're academic, so I can talk about it because I coach Division 2 and Division 3. So
Okay.
that's kind of what
Okay.
I played Division 3. I coached Division 3. I coached Division 2, and this is my 10th year Division 1. So I know, like, these schools at the Division 3 level, they want to win as well. So
Okay.
therefore, they're recruiting just as hard as Division 1. Maybe even more because the calendar is totally different for Division 3s and 2s. So
But
they
he
want
said,
to win.
why
So
did
they
they
get
charge?
charged.
Coach, he said, why do they charge?
Why do they charge
kids?
what?
The kids. Why do they
Charge
charge the
what?
kids? Money.
The
To play.
tuition,
Tuition.
and all of the other fees.
They don't. In other words, they not. A lot of them are not on scholarship.
You say, okay. So Division 3, they're not on scholarship, correct?
Okay.
Division 3 they're not on scholarship, but they're all granted up. They're granted, so it's free money. So you got to find a situation where school's giving you free money in conjunction with your academics. So that's a full scholarship in theory. Okay.
Free money. Okay.
Free money. Can you send me that magazine too?
Yeah, he gonna send it to you, Coach. He loves to send that magazine off.
and then Division 2 wise, it's some Division 2s provide full scholarships. Some of them don't, depending on the school and the institution itself. When I was at Division 2, what we tried to do was package kids with academics. So if they had great grades, I make sure to get money that way. And then with the basketball budget, combine that together, and that would give them a full scholarship. In Division 1, it's just straight full athletic scholarship. So these kids are like, even though you're playing AAU and it's Division 3 and you go Division 3, they're still trying to win. You want to find a situation where you get grants, and that's free money. So it's just a bigger business at this scale. That's all. But it's all a business.
Okay, I like that. Somebody that asked this question several times. I know you're not a woman's coach, a girl's coach, but they didn't ask it more than one time. So maybe you can help them with it, Coach, because they didn't put it up there twice. Hold on. Here it said, is it possible as a girl who shoots the 3-ball well to transfer as a freshman without a whole lot of playing time to another university? How would an athlete approach this situation? I guess the girl, she's a freshman. She can shoot a 3-ball, but she ain't played. So she want to go somewhere else with no playing time, with no. I guess you ain't got no stats. You ain't got. What you try, Coach? My thing is, why are we trying to transfer?
Well, that'd be the reason to transfer, though. If that's they want to go,
Because
the writing is on the wall.
Hold up, you ain't playing there. You ain't got
the
no
writing
minutes
is on the
there.
wall.
Hold up,
Yeah,
you ain't got no minutes
the writing
there.
is on the wall. Remember, there's 2 reasons. Some people still be in denial, and they'll say the coach hating on me. The coach ain't playing me right. You know, the coach tripping. The coach lied to me. Coach and you know that, and it still be on the coach, not on you yet. So then they'll go and say, "Well, I'm gonna go and transfer." Then and it takes. And you can take the baton.
So, Coach,
that,
how would evidently this person need help. They didn't put it on the screen twice. In that scenario, what can a girl do?
Well, I'll be really, Jim. You took the the truth serum, the real deal way out. But I'm gonna go political with it in terms of
going on.
Okay.
I would tell you this, man. Coaches talk to each other. If you're not playing there, coaches are maybe 2 degrees of separation from each other. So they'll know the scoop. They'll know why you aren't playing there. And if you really can shoot the ball at that clip that you can, that the young lady can, I would suggest that you find an institution that values shooting, even if it's for spot minutes. So therefore, how can you do that? You're gonna ask how you can do that. I would probably look up NCAA statistics and 3-point shooting, see what team takes the most threes, and then you got to assess it that way. If it's shooting that you want to be able to do, cool. Or you can, if you're not happy in that situation, then you got to go and find the best situation that suits you. And if it's a situation where shooting, they value shooting. If they don't value defense or whatever they do not value, but playing time is hard. If you don't play somewhere, there's a reason why. And just know if it's your character, they'll know. And I'm not saying it is. Everyone talks to each other. Everyone. So it's 2 degrees of separation. So if it's just you just not happy to be there and you're looking for a different situation, then I would do my research on who values shooting and if there's an opportunity. It may be a bad school, but if it's playing that you want to do, then you might have to do a situation where winning may not be it or it's not valued as much and you could get your playing time.
But Coach, look here, Coach. Y'all got to help me with this. Something is missing. She played and scored over 60 points as a player and outperforming the starters. Coach, some may. Okay, leave it alone. Okay.
First, and guess what? We're trying to understand. And I'll put it like this. I just posed a question. That way expedited. For it being ballers. First of all, a very important piece of this. What level is the current university that the young lady is at? Once that is supplied to us, then chances are 90% chance that in reality that after this year, she's probably gonna have to transfer a level down if she wants to play.
Good point.
So
good point.
And what's your thoughts on that, Coach? Is that parallel? If it was the boys, how would that work? Pretty much like that?
Yeah, pretty much. You hit it right on the head as it relates to the boys. Because there's so many things we don't know. You know, why is he not playing? He could have been late for class. She could have been late for class. You know, or the coach may not know what they're doing. There's so many external factors as to why someone's not playing, unless they're just not good enough. That's end all be all. Right?
I think y'all trying to lose on purpose. Then that's what it sounds like.
I got a question for Coach. Coach, have you ever coached a team where your leading scorer is your six come off the bench? Is your six man? Your leading scorer come off the bench? Have you ever coached a team? Your leading scorer come off the bench?
Yeah, I've had certain not leading score, but I've had instances where, like my team where I'm at right now, I have I have five guys averaging double figures. One with 18, next one 14, next one 13, next one 12, other one 10, 10 and a half. The other day, 2 weeks ago, I had a guy come off the bench and give us 40. He made 11 threes. So, like, yeah, if you have a good team, like that's what's going to happen. Not every day is going to be somebody's day, but it could be your seventh man off your bench that can provide that spark. So that's what being a part of a good team is. You got guys that you don't know who's going to score, but you know they're going to score. You just don't know how much. That's what part of being a team, you know.
Okay. Somebody said, Coach, they said coaches want the best players. What things do college coaches do that should let a player know he is trying to run a player off?
Hold on, Coach. I just had a meeting yesterday with a parent, and this is taking place right now. This exact scenario. So the parent, I went, and you guys know me. I meet parents all the time, but it's gonna cost you a meal. And I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't charge parents. I don't. And how do you know that? I don't. I should, because so many other people are, but I don't charge parents. That's part of my. That's like my tithe to the community for those out there that are of the Baptist faith. That's my tithe. And so I always go and a parent call me, need help, and I'm gonna meet with you, but when my time permits. But I'm gonna meet you at a restaurant, and you're gonna buy the meal, and I won't give me some social consumption in the process. You're gonna get that as well. But I just had this meeting with the player, and this player is the leading scorer on the team without question, and they are basically trying to run the kid off. He's the only black on the team, white head coach. And this is an uncomfortable situation. Young man ain't got no trouble for us with the legalities is concerned. And the dad wanted to know, because this is not a Division I school, and he's on the full academic scholarship for $75,000 a year. All you got to do is guaranteed. You know how this stuff go. You play D3. All you got to do is maintain that certain GPA, and that money rolls over. It's guaranteed, right? So if he transfers, he's going to lose that 75 grand if he want to play basketball somewhere. And so now back to this question right here. It's funny because I explained to the parent, if you stay and your kid want to play basketball, he better be prepared mentally, because they are going to possibly do some things to him to make him want to quit. If they already showed their hand, they don't really want you there. But they can't, but they've invited him back. And that's what I'm saying. So back to this. What are some signs? And first of all, have you ever been in part, and not saying specifics, indirectly or directly, of a player getting ran off? If so, like how do it go? Because a lot of people don't really know this. How they make you life. College coaches can make life hard, miserable for a kid. And then we go into the topic of mental health, and which is very important in our community. It's always been important, but in years past, we felt that we didn't need no help talking about our problems. Tough it up, man it up, get through it. You speak on that, Coach. Your experiences about running players off, or from afar, from what you've heard.
I've experienced some certain things as it relates to players being run off, or I've heard a lot of things. Me personally, I believe in the truth serum, man. I do. I would be fully transparent as to where I see fit in the program. Certain coaches play mind games. I'm all for helping young men get through mental health. I'm all for listening to young men as they detail their stories and what's bothering them. But I just can't let that sometimes be captive of I can't be a prisoner to their issues as well too. Not saying that I don't care, but because if you got to run a program, you have to be cognizant of everything. It's not just one person. It's how this one person can affect this one person and how this. It's all a domino effect. But the signs of it is what I've witnessed, not witnessed, but what I've heard more or less is just not paying attention to them, not talking to them, not making them feel a part of it. I've heard that, and
We can't hear you.
Oh, you
can you hear me?
muted yourself by mistake, Coach. You back now.
Yeah, you
You
had
back.
muted my. Yeah, we good now.
Hello?
You good.
We good.
You good. You good now. Can you
Good.
hear me? Yeah. Say
Can
something.
you hear me?
Yeah. We got you
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Sometimes it's your earpiece probably. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you. Yeah. You evidently can't hear us.
You can hear me?
Yeah, he probably go out and
Yes.
come back in. Just go out and
Let's
come
go
back
out and
in.
come back in. Go out and come back in. I clicked him out and let him come.
Yeah, he come back in. Of course, I mean,
Man.
good. And we're gonna get to your questions in just a second. A couple of them on the table.
But
and
Jimmy, I know somebody's saying get the education, right? But you're gonna be in an environment, a hostile environment.
Yeah, but it's a decision, and you're right. That's now. See,
And he's the only black on the team against.
Yeah, the only black on the team. Yes, and he's a leading scorer. Lead him. Lead him in like 3 categories. But you know how that stuff goes. Sometimes a lot of parents they start to complain.
I already know.
Remember, they're paying. Those other parents are paying money.
I already know.
And you got the good old boy system. Like, hey man, why is he getting all the minutes? Like this grassroots basketball. And relationships matter in this stuff. So this stuff it happened. This is real talk.
Man, this
and this is the season. This is the transfer season. The portal is about to light up, and eclipse over 1,000 players again this year.
But Jimmy, this is why, and I know some people just don't want to hear it. I was talking about it in the beginning of the show, how it's important to just not steer your kid to basketball. Let's say your kid in all his life, that's all he ever want to do. Y'all got basketball, and then he is confronted with this situation. It's basketball or bust. It's basketball or bust. Basketball. And now y'all in a dilemma. They finna take the basketball from him because they're going to make him so miserable. That's why I say it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, to get your kid into something else. Very, very, very. And I know y'all, Robert, I love the way he played basketball. I love it. Yes, but the basketball coach told you, coach probably ain't never watched this show. And coach said what I tell him every day, coach. I said, the basketball is going to stop. Coach, I say it almost every other day. The basketball is stopped for Magic Johnson. It stopped for Michael Jordan. Yeah, coach messing up good today, Jimmy. It stopped for Magic Johnson. It stopped for Michael Jordan. It's gonna stop for LeBron. I know y'all love him. It's gonna stop for James Harden. It's gonna stop for everybody. Where you gonna be when the ball stop bouncing? Barry McDonald. I mean, the ball's just gonna stop, mama. Coach coming back, Jimmy. Coach, I got you. I got you, Coach. Can you hear me? You back, Coach? Coach. Yeah.
Can he not hear us?
Yeah, it's messing up a little bit today. Jimmy, we almost finished anyway, so we'll close it out. We'll close it out.
He'll go all the way out and come back in. But meanwhile, of course, we had a couple of questions. Jeremy Cunningham, we had your question on deck. Brandon Morris, we had your question on deck as well. And to toss to coach, I was going to answer, but I want to let the college coach answer that question.
Coach.
And as soon as he
Can you hear me?
and what he could
Yeah,
probably.
we got it. We got
Yes,
it back, Jimmy.
now we good.
My bad,
That-
man.
No, it's all right. You good, man.
So you gave ways that possible signs that a player can or the parent can detect when a school is possibly trying to run them off, and it happens because now, as you understand, you can but it's a whole different topic. I don't even want to get into it, but everyone you run off, you got APR situations that you have to face as well. But we're not going to talk about that today because we got a couple other questions and good questions that are on deck. And that is, one is, we're talking about the portal. And Jeremy asked, how important is stats for a player in the transfer portal? Because most people who transfer won't have the stats. Therefore, the reason they may be leaving may be indeed the current school or something else.
Yeah, that's you know what, that's a great question, but the reality of it is it breaks down to numbers in certain instances. So you got to think about it as high major plus, mid major plus, low major plus, D2, high D2. The high majors are going to get the guys that average the stats. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is what it is.
Okay.
Now there's another tier of guys that may average. You got to think about the market too. 6'9", 6'10" kids, regardless of how many points they average, they're scarce. So they're probably going to end up at a higher level regardless because they're big. So that takes away the thought process with that. Now, perimeter guys, it's numbers and percentages. And then the guys that don't have stats, it's really about what you bring to the table. And if you don't have a game film, then you're almost better off going somewhere, maybe a junior college, or finding a situation where I wouldn't say walk on, because 9 out of 10 times we can't afford to pay that. I know I couldn't pay for college, so I wouldn't tell you to walk on. But you gotta find some practices that you had that you were able to contribute. You did well in practice. You have to find a way to market yourself if you don't have any stats. And that's my best advice to people that don't have stats. You had practices. Shoot, you probably practiced what? You probably had 80-something practices to this stage right now. If you tell me you don't have 10 practices that you played well from January to February, February to March, then you ain't going to be a college player anywhere. Because then that's your that's your only hope. And that's just me being brutally honest with you. If you don't have anything to sell, then you better have practices. We can't go off what you did in high school because that's not the measuring stick anymore. So if you go into the portal, I would suggest that you have practices that you can able to clip up and send out to universities. The level, that's on you. I would tell you to shoot to the stars, because chances are, if you came from a mid-major, unless that mid-major knows who you were prior to going to that mid-major, you probably won't get there. You probably got to shoot a little lower, shoot a little maybe mid-level to lower. You just got to be honest in your own assessment. But I would tell you the best way to sell yourself is to have practices on deck, cut them up, hire somebody, pay them $10, whatever, just so you can have some type of footage. It's easier to get somebody off of some footage that you can see as opposed to.
That's good. That's great. A great answer.
Coach, I got one more question for you, Coach. Please don't cut off on. Coach, I got one. Coach, let me tell you something.
I got you.
I don't know what's going to happen, but somebody put it on the board. And if it's against y'all policy, I'm just going, we got a guard down here that's in the transfer portal. And I'm going to just give you, God, it cut off. I was finna get.
Yeah, you can't give specifics now. You can give a scenario.
I can't give a guy name. It's on the feed.
No.
He don't have to listen to it. I can give it.
Yeah, but you can't say that. But you invited him to answer. You said, I got one more question for you.
Okay. No.
It must not be against my policy.
Coach, I got a question. Coach, it's a player in the transfer portal right now, right? And he's from this area. Somebody just put it on our screen. What is it that I can't say about that player to you? I don't want you to get in trouble. Tell me
You can
what
say
I can't
anything
say.
you want, but it's what he can't say.
I don't want you. Don't have to say nothing. I just put it on the screen, and you can. I'm gonna let you read the name. Hold up. I'm gonna put it on the screen. You can read the name, and somebody
Hey,
put it up there.
Haller. He can't. You could do that on the side. He can't. His response is going to be.
I don't want him to respond. Listen, Jimmy, read my
No,
lips. I don't want him to respond.
Thank you.
Huh? Don't respond, coach.
Thank you for the name.
Okay, say no more. That's all. I just put it up there. I don't want him to respond. On to the next subject. Coach, he can get to his spots, but keep going. Jimmy, what's the next spot? How about that?
I'm weak right now.
Oh yeah. He can get to his spots. But what's the next question, Jimmy?
Now, of course, next question is we have, and that is from Brandon. And he asks, how important is it for players to take visits to colleges? Because many players are signing without even taking visits. First, I'm going to ask you, how many players on your teams signed without visiting your school? Because I don't think that's not common. That's uncommon. Now, committing is a different thing, but how many players you have that on scholarship, that is, that you have on the roster that did not visit the campus before they signed?
Okay, so to answer Brandon your question, you got to think about the world that we were in last year, where the world was pretty completely shut down.
The COVID thing. Okay, the COVID. I'm thinking normal times. Yeah. COVID.
Oh no, if you think in normal times now, no, you don't. If you can see kids live, or if you can get them to come on, you have to go on visits, whether it's unofficial or official. If they really want you, they'll bring you on an official. But just to piggyback off the question in general, last year we signed 3 kids without visiting, and they all turned out to be good because we really watched extensive film on them. One all-conference guard that I recruited, I watched 12 games. I had nothing else to do, so why not watch them? So it turned out to be fine. But yeah, if you have the opportunity to go to campuses, even if it's on your own dime for unofficial, official, because this is your son's future. This is somewhere that you don't do it if it's not a legitimate option or something that you don't just go visit if it's not within your region or area just to spend money. You don't do that. No, I would never suggest that. But if you can, and it's something that you want to do, and if they're really recruiting you, then you get an official visit. If not, if you could go on an unofficial and it doesn't cost you anything and you can afford it, you do it. But I always think it's good to get a feel for the campuses, universities, assistant coaches, head coaches, administrators. It's just, it's just a better thing to just get a feel for people, man. People, coaches, assistant coaches, head coaches, they tell you who they are when you go see them. You'll get a feel for them as soon as you see them. Well, me, I'm a people. I can get feel for people right away. So I would suggest you go see campus. I would suggest you go see them before you make any decision.
And of course, you guys is just tuning in. This is Coach Serge Clement. He's from Hofstra, and they are in 3rd place currently right now. Kicked a few butt. Remember, took U of H to the overtime in the opener at the Fertitta Center back in November. Beat Arkansas earlier this season. Arkansas, mind you, just beat Kentucky over the weekend. And yes, that same Arkansas Razorback team, these guys beat them. So, and Coach, we definitely appreciate you coming to chop it up with us on the Chop Shop.
Yeah. You got to come back, man.
And one thing about the Chop Shop,
you don't think studio, man. I gotta get in the studio, man. I gotta get in the studio.
You ready?
Get some Get that salmon Yvette from Papa Do's, man. You know what I mean?
You know what? You're going to make me go get that tonight. Thanks for
hey,
I'm going to put that in my notes. It's salmon Yvette tonight. That's what I'm putting.
Or the Alexander, you know.
Coach, come on. When you get on down to H-Town, we're going to get you down and make you a quick lap. You know, ain't no thing about it. When you get on down, you know, you might, one thing about it, there's the transfer portal is a lot going on with players from Texas. And of course, you have a lot of young players that definitely you guys, you know, so that's, you know, without saying too much, Texas is fertile.
Yeah.
Texas is ripe. And you know that. So we welcome you down anytime. And we just got to make sure we get out there. We're going to teach y'all to eat some crawfish for us over with too. We're going to get you.
Yeah, man. I got to get a little lesson and some gumbo. I need some of that gumbo. We're going to get you
some. Yeah, absolutely. But thanks so much, man. And of course, thanks for Brian Burton. And thanks for Brian Burton for making this all possible. And he's going to do it with his program. And Brian Burton has definitely made giant strides in the 2 years that he's been absent off the coaching trails. And he's in the media sector now, doing his in multimedia, that is, and also doing broadcasting games as well. But Coach, before we get up out of here, how can they follow you or contact you if they have more questions about any of these topics we talked about?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is on the bottom at Serge Clement 12 on Twitter. I'm pretty much more heavily on Twitter. Facebook, I lost my password and I still haven't found it. And it's been like almost a year, but that's a whole nother story right there. Other than that, Twitter, I'm pretty Twitter, I'm pretty active on. But just on a side note, man, I want to tell you guys, I really appreciate you having me on. You know, just to forge some relationships with guys out of region and guys that are authentic about it. And I could just tell by the questions and by just your approach. And I really like what you guys are doing, and I appreciate it. And to be who's, you know, we got to know each other through the pandemic, and we've been in constant communication. He's been really like he wouldn't say it like a little OG, if that.
He got sense, that in. Man. He got an old soul. OG.
He got an old soul to him, man. Yeah. And I really appreciate him just being able to confide in him and things in the business itself, because he's been through a lot. So, like I said, I respect B for that, and I appreciate B for that. So, and thank you guys, most importantly, for providing this a platform for me, just to enhance my program, the program, Speedy Claxton's brand, and also my brand as well. So thank you guys.
All right. Thank you,
I
Coach.
appreciate it, man.
Coach,
Thanks a bunch.
I'm going to keep in touch, Coach. I got your number now. We good.
You got my, can you hear me on the line so I can lock you in?
Yeah, I'm going to send it.
Jim, can I get on the phone with you too?
Huh?
Can I get on the phone with you, Jim?
Yeah.
Can I get on the phone with you, Jim?
Yeah.
Jim, can I get on the phone with you?
Man.
I got you, Coach.
Hey, look here.
I got you.
Hey, I got you covered. I got you covered like a quilt. You already got the disclaimer. They already told you. You know I got you. You in. You wasn't in. You wouldn't have been on there. So now you good to go. You good to go right now.
I got you. Can I get that shirt so I can get some baby blue J's now, man? I need that shirt so I can get some baby blue 11s.
We'll see you later, Coach. We got to get out of here.
We'll get you down to our Final Four happy hour for the college coaches.
Final Four.
We got the Crawfish Ball in New Orleans for the Final Four. The Chop Shop in the building. We got a live broadcast from New Orleans as well in a real studio. I went down there last week, set it all up. We good to go. We're gonna give you the details. It's exclusive now. It ain't for everybody. You're gonna get up in that.
Man,
it's
gonna
go down
on the floor.
Now, Coach, we got you, Coach.
With them hotel prices, man.
Hey, I like that. I like that, Coach.
Hey, Coach, you work with the Hoop Group. You can't fool me with that. You got the Hoop Group. Yeah. All right. So you good to go. You plugged all the way in.
Yeah. Man, I'm out, man. Y'all killing
All right,
me,
we'll
man.
see you later, Coach.
All right, man. Peace.
All
right. Hey, Jimmy. Please get these people some high school basketball, because Melvin Dew's about to go crazy. I'm gonna let you go. I mean, I have got to go, but just give him a little bit. Give him a little. Hey, do like Aretha Franklin. Give them something they can feel right quick, Jimmy, and get them on out of here.
Well, I was at the game last night. Jack Yates played Silsby. They're arch rivals in the 4A classification, and it was quite a game. I really thought that Silsby would cruise away, hit him with a knockout punch, and be a double-digit spread. And Yates wasn't having that last night. These young people understand. Silsby by far was the favorite. Yates led this game with 3 minutes and some change to go. Yates was ahead. They had over 10 lead changes in the second half. It was tight all from the end of the first quarter. Silsby controlled everything. But in that second quarter, Yates took the lead, but about 3 minutes to go, and they kept swapping leads the rest of the way. It was a fantastic game, which Silsby pulled off the win 78-71. It was even closer than that. Remember, during the last, basically Silsby got 2 breakaway dunks to close the game out in the end. It is Silsby, their dynamic duo, Draylon Miller, Jared Harris. These young men stepped up and stepped out on last night. I haven't totaled up. Of course, as you guys know, when I go in the gym, look here, this is my notes from last night. As you see, Yates and Silsby. And I'm keep a lot of stuff, my notes in the middle, as you can tell. Once again, I always tell you guys, pay attention when you go into these buildings. Pay attention to who's paying attention to your babies. And one thing I want to give you in defeat, Calvin Murphy III. That's right, you heard that name, for Calvin Murphy III for Jack Yates. This young man, sometimes you can lose and still win. Yates lost the game. But they are players. They start 2 freshmen. A third freshman plays starter minutes for them. And both of the freshmen who start scored double digits. I don't remember how much Calvin Murphy finished with last night. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to count them up live on the Chop Shop. He had 5 in the first quarter. In the second quarter, he had 7. That's 12 at the break. In the third quarter, he had 6. That's 18 at the end of 3. In the fourth quarter, he had 4. So he finished with 22 points in the loss. But he was impressive because in doing so, 6 of those were 3-pointers. Right? 6 were 3-pointers. And he was cooking. I mean, it got to the point where they put a snipe on him. They put a play on him to follow him to try to deny him from even touching the ball. He played all 32 minutes. They did not take him out. So for a 9th grader to get that type of experience and that type of atmosphere, it was jam-packed, standing room only. And there's nobody that was there that did not walk away impressed with not just Calvin Murphy III, but Deshaun Scott. He was the big fella. I think Deshaun was number, I don't remember what number was, 20, 25 or something like that. And he's a lefty. That duo, Yates is only missing a rebounder or a shot blocker for next year. Those guys there are the future. They're in good hands. But the thing is, as Yates come back next year with pretty much everybody, they lose Karan McKinney, He's the son of Coach Clarence McKinney, the head football coach at Texas Southern University. As they lose him, he's a senior, then they bring everybody back. But at the same time, Silsbee brings pretty much everybody back. Remember, their foundation is 10th graders, sprinkled with some 11th graders, and a splash of a 12th grader or two. So they're going to be coming back. Meanwhile, Booker T. Washington, who plays Little Cypress Mauriceville tonight, they bring pretty much everybody back next year. So that means on the bell curve, and it's rumored that there's a player or two that may be moving into, transferring into Booker T. Washington. No, when you win, they're going to come. Unfortunately, Silsbee is a town that is not that easy to just flock to like that and transfer. But if Silsbee and their history, their tradition, their fan base, they have the perfect fan base. Silsbee fans are what Yates fans were a couple of years ago. I mean, they learned from it, and meaning that I say that they are meaning that they're spirited. Yates fans were there last night, but they weren't as spirited as the Silsbee fans. You really didn't feel it until the game was in the closing seconds. Then you realize those fans were roaring from Silsbee. And it was like part of it was you were just so happy because of who you beat. Some Silsbee fans, they don't give a damn. They just want to beat Yates. So that was part of the roar because you came into this game knowing you were the heavy favorite. So it should have been another day at the office. Making a touchdown, put the ball down, making a three-pointer, turn around, you been there, done that. But in this case, that was one young man that's a starter from Silsbee. He was physically crying after the game was over. Joy, tears of joy, and relief, satisfaction at a job well done. Once again, you have a 10th grade kid displaying that type of emotion after the game is over. I mean, seriously, he was weeping, tears of joy. And you sit there and you're like, oh man, how can you not root for that? How can you not root for that with Silsbee? And so I'm the guy, don't get it twisted now. When the Silsbee fans see me come in the building, they first ask me, why you sitting on this side of the gym? Why you sit on this side? And I went over there with Todd Freed and sit over by him, and that way it can help, if he needed some spot and needed some assistance while he was filming and making sure nobody didn't bump into the camera or whatnot. And I went up there and watched the game with him. But yeah, Walt Yates, I was there before the game. I was there. The game didn't start at 7:00. It started actually about 7, maybe 10 after 7, 7:15. I was there at tip-off. I was there. And that was a good game, a great game. Also, so the winner, Silsbee now has punched their ticket into the regional Final Four, which will take place in Lufkin, Texas. Lufkin High School has built a brand new, luxurious facility, where the 4A regional will be held. And Booker T. Washington has a chance to punch their ticket this evening. They play, I think, at Lee College. I want to say it's against Little Cypress, Mauriceville at 7 p.m. tonight. That game, Booker T. Washington, I don't think they've ever been to the regional tournament. Well, they had. Yeah, they have. I know they haven't been to state. They've never been to state. And speaking of Silsbee, I have one stat I want to provide you about Silsbee, and this is to show you that their dominance. And thanks for Mike Sanchez down in Southeast Texas providing this stat. He says Silsbee is advancing to the regional tournament for the 8th consecutive year. Silsbee has been to the Final Four of the region 8 straight years, and 14 of the last 18 years. That is unheard of in Texas basketball. Think about that. Now, don't get it twisted. Yates has been to the regionals. Their numbers are close. But when you go 18 years back, that's when you start to lose some of Yates. Because remember, before Greg Wise got there, Yates had suffered a few dips in their potency. Wheatley had grasped hold of the potency, the dominance in that division. So in 5A, Katy Paytow eliminated Kingwood Park last night. That game was played over at the Woodlands. 20 points spread for Katy Paytow. Now they await the winner of Crosby and Nederland, which plays tonight, 7 p.m. at Barbers Hill High School. Crosby and Nederland, 7 p.m. at Barbers Hill High School. The winner of this game gets Katy Paytow. That would be one hell of a semifinal game, because on the other side of the bracket is Beaumont United plays Goose Creek Memorial. Goose Creek Memorial has struggled a few of their past couple of games. Beaumont United is grooving along. They're the machine. They're the favorite. They went undefeated last year. And they win tonight. Beaumont United will wait their winner of Anderson and Weiss High School. And they play tonight, 7 p.m. at Rouse High School. Beaumont United, of course, that game is at East Chambers High School at 7 p.m. And all eyes will be focused on if Crosby and Katy Paytow is playing Beaumont United in the championship. Either one of those, of course, remember, Beaumont United is in the same district with Crosby. They've already beat them twice. And so, it wasn't out of luster, but you never know what can happen when PJ Haggerty is on your team, guys. So in 6A basketball, those games will take place. The brackets are on rcssports.com. You can go to our website, pull the brackets. They're updated. All you do is click on the district standings, and that bracket will be an option once you click on district standings. We have Westfield and Cy Falls. That is a doubleheader paired with Cy Ranch and Langham Creek at the Berry Center tonight. That's where I'll be at the doubleheader. I haven't seen Cy Ranch in a few. I haven't seen them in a few weeks. So this gets a chance. I haven't seen Langham Creek since the Hoops Giving Classic. So it give me a chance. I saw Westfield a week and a half ago, but I hadn't saw Cy Falls. And so I need to put eyes on Josiah McWright, kid, a cover boy of the magazine, Josiah McWright right there. So he's in action this evening. He was on there. Yeah, he's on there. So he's in, and so he's signed with Louisiana Tech, and this young man's been. So that's a doubleheader. I'll be there. Cy Ranch win. They wait the winner of Duncanville and DeSoto. Westfield South Falls will play the winner of Garland and Ellison. And also tonight in Region 3, last but not least, is Cy Creek plays Bel Air, 6 p.m. at the Merrill Center in Katy. That's a doubleheader paired with Clements and Maid Creek. So that means either Clements or Maid Creek will be in the regional tournament, the semifinals, for the first time in school history. No matter what happened in that game, one of them would be in rare air. And both coaches actually started at these schools around the same time, maybe 4 years ago, something like that. And, Clements, they have the story with the son of Akeem Olajuwon, Abdullah Olajuwon, and also they have a couple of youngsters, most importantly, the 10th grader.
The Divine.
Divine. Yeah. And so, but that's a story because, for media purposes, Olajuwon would be courtside or sitting there watching his baby play. So that's an attraction. But Maid Creek is, they're led by a ninth grader, one of the many ninth graders that are starring on varsity around the area this year. And this, of course, ninth grader for Maid Creek is named Christian Jones. and he's not the only ninth grader that is on that team, but they have another one that stars as well and plays a lot of minutes. But that's going to be a good game. Dawson plays Atascocita tonight at Phillips Fieldhouse. It's a 6 o'clock tip. That's a very good game. Dawson is rolling. They just manhandled the Sea King, right? They beat Clearbrook in the first round. This Dawson team, I'm telling you, they have all the pieces. And once again, another NBA legacy child or son is a star on that team. And that is Tyree Davis, the son of Ricky Davis, who played in the NBA for a few years. So he's the star at Dawson High School, right? And Atascocita, who was one of the favorites, was my favorite entering the season. They're the defending champions from this region, and I have no reason to believe that they would not roll through this region again. On the other side, a team that had to ask yesterday, why ain't nobody talking about Shadow Creek one other day? Well, Shadow Creek get all tonight. They will get all they want and then some this evening. Guess who Shadow Creek plays tonight, Al?
Who they play tonight?
Dickinson. And that game is 7 p.m. at Delmar. So if you don't feel like driving, if you're located centrally, you got games on all sides of the city, of the greater Houston area tonight. And this Dickinson team, they have not played, if I'm not mistaken, they have not played Shadow Creek this season. No. But Dickinson has a big punch. That should be a good game. And I'm sad to inform you guys that Stafford High School, my favorite advance out of region 4 in Class 4A, they got upset last night, and they have been eliminated from the postseason. So, it was a run. I was hoping to have two Greater Houston teams in the 4A state tournament, but as it stands, we have no team remaining because Brazosport lost in the previous round. So there you have it. And I'm looking at some of the comments. Is Christian Jones in a relationship with Charlie Jones? I don't think that he is, because if he was, Charlie Jones coaches at Katy Jordan High School, who's their first year of varsity, actually made the playoffs. I was there when they lost to New Caney in the first round. They're not related, because surely that young man would have went to Katy Jordan High School if he was kin to Charlie Jones Jr.
Sometimes I get the Berry and the Merrill mixed up, Katy and Cy-Fall. So at the Berry Center, who's playing?
Double header.
Okay.
You have Langham Creek and Cy Ranch.
Okay.
With Mo Manecki.
Okay.
Justin Norris.
No, Kobe Raspberry. That's
Kobe Raspberry.
Yeah.
And all those
and my man Moore, the young kid, the Moore kid.
Ryan Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over there. So they're in action against Langham Creek. Langham Creek is playing with house money, Howard. Okay. Nobody expect them to barely make the playoffs. They find themselves in the third round. So they're going to be relaxed. They're going to be just execute, box out, rebound, and we can and let's see what let the cards fall where they may.
And the game after that one is what?
Cy Falls would take on Westfield with Willie Williams, Zion Pipkin, and those guys. This Westfield team, they're good, they're deep, but Cy Falls.
What? So where's box office at playing tonight at? Box office. You know what I'm talking about. Where's PJ Box Office? PJ Box Office Haggerty playing at tonight?
Yeah, I just went over there.
No,
Crosby playing Nederland.
Oh, Nederland.
At Barbers Hill High School.
Oh, Barbers Hill. I don't even know where Barbers Hill is.
But if Crosby wins, then they will possibly play. They will play Katy Paytown on Friday. That's what you want to see. Okay. The Chuck Wagon, Charles Chuckwood, and the rest of the crew, and Abu and Trevor Frank and all those guys.
Box office. They ain't box office. I want to see box office. That's all. Box office Haggerty.
You know what? But this time of the year is when a young fella can make a name for himself and become box office in the postseason under the bright lights with 2, 3, 4,000 fans watching you. This is how you can get it out the mud. And that's what I'm saying. People,
let's get out of here. Let's get out of here so we can make sure all of that all right. South Falls got a good guard. I say, okay, well, let's get out of here so that people can get to their places. Because I know I got
man, it's definitely a time. I got to get up out of here as well. We want to thank you guys for tuning into the Chop Shop and making sure you do us a favor and share the show on your way out the door. If you do that to help us increase our digital footprint. If you're on the Facebook feed, we invite you to go over to the YouTube page of the Chop Shop and follow us. Follow us on YouTube as we go through our quest to reach 2,000 followers. So let's go. We passed 1,000. We want to get to 2,000 now. Ain't no sense. Ain't no stopping us now. We on the move. As what they call it.
We're at 1,500 now.
Well, let's keep on going then. So do us a favor and do that if you would. We'll be right back with you guys on the mall. Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation with the assistant coach from Hofstra, Serge Clement. Great convo with him. We want to make sure you can always go back on YouTube, which is cooler to go back on because you can actually splice a portion of the show and put it on social media. Let somebody know that we're talking about different topics. Let some parents know this is what they need to see. This is what they need to hear. This is how you could, signs of when you can get ran off from a program. Different among other topics that we talked about. But we got to get up out of here, guys. Don't forget also, the spring icebreaker. We're going to roll in closing registration in a few days. So if you have a team and you think you have a team that's playing, I strongly encourage you to go and reserve your slot. I'm telling you. And what's at risk? Well, you mess around and you come in late and you find out you'll be playing at 8 o'clock in the morning one day and you'll be playing at 8 o'clock in the morning the next day and possibly at 6:30 in the evening. That's what's at risk because you're not organized. So go to the website, click on the icebreaker logo and reserve your slots. Lastly, we have the Unsigned Senior Showcase. It's going to take place on the morning of Friday, March the 18th. This Unsigned Senior Showcase is like none other. How? Is because it's the first in the history of the United States for Unsigned Senior Showcase. Not just in Houston, not just in Texas, in the history of the United States, that you would get an Unsigned Senior Showcase where at least 2 college coaches, active coaches, will be on each bench. Right? And each team will play on rotating benches during their games. So that means, think about it. So that means you get to interact with all those college coaches. And guess what? We're going to have Jeffrey Day on one court filming, Archie Young filming on another court. We got 2 courts side by side. 8 teams, 4 will play while 4 will sit, while 5 through 8 will sit. Then 1 through 4 play. And then it rotates. Then 5 through 8 play. Then 1 through 4. Then 5 through 8. Everybody get 3 games. And all of this. Then we're gonna have Coach V is gonna come. He's gonna help with the facilitating of that. His energy is unmatched. Everything for under $100. Everything for under $80. Specifically, only $75. I told you guys, pay attention. You got other events going on, Unsigned Senior Showcases with nobody there, and they charging you $150 for them to make you think they need to see your baby again. Listen, if you're an unsigned senior, you don't need me or anybody in my business to see you right now. You need for college coaches to see you right now. Remember that. Take that. I'm telling you, I say it again. If you're an unsigned senior, primarily, you don't need any recruiting service to see you play right now. You need college coaches to see you play right now. That's the truth. Ruth. as Samuel Jackson said in that old movie back in the day. But anyway, guys, we got to get up out of here, man. We'll see you guys on tomorrow. Shout out to Chad Grove over in Arizona. I see you checking us out from over in the Cactus State. And we'll be back at you on tomorrow with the Chop Shop. Meanwhile, Shadow showing you where to do. For Robert Helder, this is Jim Hicks. Peace, guys. We're up out of here. Chop Shop.
Jim Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop.